captivating curiosity.
Insurance is an industry rooted in tradition, and that's exactly why it's perfect for innovation. As technology uplifts the insurance industry, a new category leader emerging in the space are InsurTechs, tech-driven companies that are entering the insurance sector to innovate and disrupt. And the category is only getting bigger and bigger in the insurance ecosystem. So what's the key behind this InsurTech boom? And how are these new players revolutionizing this industry? We speak to Rita Yates, CEO of InsurTech Australia, a passionate advocate for technology in the industry, to find out more.
It's interesting. I think in these times of uncertainty, insurance actually becomes, in some ways almost more important, because what insurance does is create a level of certainty, takes out risk in certain areas of people's lives. And so I think moving forwards, insurance will certainly maintain its importance in society, but may actually grow in terms of its importance in society. As you mentioned, with all these different factors coming into play in our lives more recently, probably been two key drivers of the InsurTech revolution, which started now. If you look at the US, it probably started over 5 years ago, but probably more recently started booming in Australia. But the two key drivers really are customer expectations, first and foremost. So as you would know, over the last, particularly 5 years, the expectations of a customer in any given field has changed quite significantly. So examples of how that has changed has been that as a consumer these days, we expect things to be very instant, we expect them to be efficient, we expect to be able to access everything via our mobile phones, or at least some form of technology that we have. And we don't have an expectation that we will sit for long periods of time on a phone, for example, to be serviced. So obviously there is a changing, a generational shift as well, but those expectations, interestingly, really sit across all generations now, and there certainly is, that certainly is quite evident. The second key driver really has been the development of technology, and again, that has happened quite significantly over the last 5 to 10 years. So the different types of technology that are used now in InsurTech propositions include things like artificial intelligence, machine learning, even blockchain, but also very sophisticated data analytics. The use of big data as well is another key driver. And then cloud technology is one that is becoming even more evident as time goes on. So really it's technology and customer expectations that have been the two key drivers of InsurTech. Broadly speaking, the majority of InsurTech solutions actually have the customer at the forefront of their minds. So everything they are developing at the end of the day is generally for the customer and with the customer in mind, as opposed to a back-end insurance solution, of which there are many of those as well. But for the most part, many InsurTech solutions are customer-facing. So, the types of examples that we see that really do affect the customer as such are things that will improve a customer's journey when they're dealing with an insurance company. The insurance value chain is fairly complex, so there's multiple areas along that customer value chain or the insurance value chain where there are huge opportunities to actually improve what's happening by the use of technology. But then I guess if you take a step back and look end to end, the opportunity that is sitting there in itself is actually to improve the end-to-end process using an overarching strategy that actually helps to deliver what you're wanting to deliver to your consumers. But I would say the opportunities lie right across the board, really, to make improvements, and it depends. Different organisations are at different stages of their digital transformation. Now, that could be anywhere along the insurance value chain. So it could be when they're actually taking out a policy and being able to, for example, go online and have multiple different options to actually secure their policies in a very fast, efficient, and fully digital way. All the way down to claims, which is another huge area where InsurTech plays a role in, and the operation of a claims process end to end, again in a fully digital format, which is efficient, which is secure, but which is also has transparency for the claimant to actually understand where they're at as far as the claim process is concerned. Again, if we take it back to what expectations are for customers these days, really the expectation is that there's multiple digital channels available to them when they're looking to take out an insurance product, and that they understand the insurance product that they're actually buying at that point in time. So I think certainly that support for different channels for customers to actually secure their insurance products is sort of the key, one of the key ways that InsurTech has helped in this process. But there's also quite innovative technology where InsurTechs are actually allowing insurance products to be sold through non-traditional digital channels and pathways, through partner organizations, for example, that haven't traditionally sold insurance, but now are able to through a new distribution channel, which is obviously through an InsurTech. So that's probably the best example of how, from a distribution perspective, InsurTech is working. Another key part of where InsurTechs play is the back-end efficiencies and the back-end processes and so forth. And so, I think there is a big role for InsurTech to play in helping larger insurance organizations in doing that more efficiently and effectively. It is probably more developed in areas like the US, for example, where InsurTech has played a role in that space for a longer period of time. But again, this is an area where there's huge opportunity and huge potential. InsurTechs have some great solutions in this space in, whether it's creating more efficiencies in the types of document management, for example, that happens, and there's a huge amount of that in the insurance space. And there's great opportunity for that to be more digitized and to be managed in a more efficient way. If we take a look into the future, I think InsurTech will be more mainstream than it is today. I think that, generally speaking, incumbents and insurers will be working more effectively with InsurTechs to deliver certain value to their end customers, and that we will be able to see very much more clearly in the future, in the not too distant future, the real value that InsurTech is providing to the insurance industry as a whole. And part of that is actually that InsurTech will become more mainstream as opposed to more niche in the industry.